You're a book content creator, you have your content planned and ready to go. You get to the bookstore, you pull out your camera, and then you feel really awkward. Here are 5 tips to help you when you're filming out in public. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Turn the Page Books. My name is Paige. I want to help you figure out how to film in public without feeling so self-conscious. I'm actually an incredibly shy person. When I was growing up, I was that kid that would just sit in class and not talk to a lot of people. And I was really uncomfortable putting myself out there. As I got older, I had closer friend groups and people I felt comfortable with, but I'm still kind of an introvert. I made my book accounts first. I started with Instagram in July of 2024, and then I made my TikTok a couple weeks later. I felt like since then my confidence has really grown. So one thing that I did, kind of like exposure therapy for my social anxiety, was going out and filming in public spaces, particularly the bookstore. I find that the content that does the best for me is when I am out and about. Those bookstore posts are the ones that get me the most followers and has built my community a whole lot. It took some practice and figuring out ways to help me so that I'm not so overwhelmed. So let's get into my tips and hopefully they help you too. My first tip is to go at the right time. I find that the best time to go to film is when they open on the weekends. If you're the kind of person that needs to go on the weekends and you don't have time during the week because of work or whatever, go right when they open. Usually Barnes & Noble opens at 11 o'clock in the morning. You can film your content right away and then you can enjoy the rest of the time just browsing and shopping. The other time that I find is really good on the weekdays, specifically like a Monday or a Tuesday, if you go kind of before closing. Typically Barnes & Noble will close around 8 or 9 o'clock. So if you go like 6:30, 7 o'clock, you should be golden. I actually go with a bunch of my friends who are also book talkers. We usually would go to dinner at like Cheesecake Factory and then go over to Barnes & Noble and film. We're doing big group videos and there's like nobody in there. Sometimes there's a few people, but it's really not that bad. I have gone and filmed when it's really crowded. A couple videos I have where it's packed and I'm going like it was Christmas week or something like that, and it was just really overwhelming. I also recommend checking the different bookstores in your area. I do go to a lot of indie bookstores too. It just depends on if it's crowded or not, and sometimes it's really quiet, but like Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, all those big chains have music playing. But some of the independent bookstores are silent. I do want to find a good corner. One bookstore I go to called Chamlin's, it's huge. It's like a maze. I actually did a vlog about it. You can kind of find some corners that are empty and film in those spaces. My second tip is to bring a supportive bestie. You are going to want to have friends with you that will be there for moral support to help you film. Sometimes if you have an idea with multiple people, it's great to have a friend there who's willing to do it with you. Other book talkers or other book content creators are great people to go with. It's so fun to meet and connect with people in your area so that way you can group together and go and film and have content days. My third tip is to film a ton of B-roll. If you don't know what B-roll is, it's the footage of you just walking around, doing activity, putting a book back up on the shelf. These clips are gonna make your content so much more interesting. So here's a few B-roll content ideas that you can do. Browsing the bookshelves, kind of looking around, looking at a book, flipping the pages. Here's me browsing around. I have a ton of these and they just look really cute and look really aesthetic, and you can just add them in wherever. That way, if you have a video idea where you just wanna put text over it, you can find one of these videos and just plop it in there, and there you go. Another B-roll idea is you reading. Of course, we are book content creators, so we're going to want to be showing us reading and listening to audiobooks. I have headphones that I put on and do a little bit of a walking around, listening to my book or cleaning, whatever it may be. It's also really fun to get some footage of you with your friends, kind of chatting about books, reading. When I go to book club, I always do a little clip of us talking and discussing the book. Organizing your bookshelves. You could do making a book stack. I do like to change angles a little bit. So if you do some like up above, I don't have any equipment to like hang my phone from my fan or anything like that. I'm kind of looking at that just to level it up a little bit. My next tip is to plan ahead. When you go out and you're going to go to a bookstore, you want to have some general idea of what you are going to film. If you're with a friend, you're not sitting there trying to scroll on TikTok and find a video or inspiration. The morning before I go out, I will look at TikTok and go on the audios. Sometimes I'll just pull up the audios that it recommends and click through and see what sound bites are good. I will save them to my favorites. That way I can pull them up and make it book related. Here's an example of that. My next tip is to find a space in the bookstore or wherever you are that is kind of quiet, not crowded. There are other people shopping, there's customers, there's people browsing. You want to be respectful of other people who are around you. If I am filming at the door, this happens quite often where I am like trying to walk out the door or go into the door. There's always people coming in and out. So I'll hold the door for them and go before I start filming, and that way it's not awkward and I'm just standing there trying to film with people staring at me, which has happened before. Obviously, if a space is getting too crowded, I will move somewhere else. My last tip for specifically filming out in public is have fun. Everybody says that, to have fun, but truly nobody really cares if you're filming. I have this video, embarrassing things to do at Barnes & Noble, and it's me doing some filming thing, and then everybody's just kind of like, what is she doing? But nobody really cared. Nobody looked over. Everybody just minded their own business. Nobody knows how many followers you have. No one knows if you're this huge content creator or a small content creator. Even if you are small, it is still valid. You are still a content creator. I am not a huge book content creator by any means. I started less than a year ago and my content has grown. It's steadily grown, but it's not like I have grown exponentially overnight. Slow start, and then it increased a little bit more, and every time I get a viral video, it increases. It has a big jump, but I do it for fun. I do it as a creative outlet. It's a hobby for me. I don't get paid or anything, but I enjoy it. Just some quick tips for filming in general. I do have a Sony EV, I think it's called the EV10. I do find that it's worth it. It's a really great investment if you are trying to do this for a long period of time. That's what I'm filming on right now. If I have just my phone, I think I have the 14, but I will use the cinematic mode as much as I can. I hope that it helps and you can implement these tips when you're going out and filming at bookstores, or if you're just filming something in general. Don't feel awkward. I feel so awkward sometimes still, and I'm kind of an awkward person. So I did go to Barnes & Noble recently and I picked up 2 books. I also recently went to the library and got this book. So from the library, I got My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh. I don't know how to say that, but this is I think it's like a good for her lit book, but it looks really interesting. I've gotten a lot of recommendations about it, so I'm excited to read it. I also picked up The Rainfall Market. I just really like the cover. If you've read it, let me know what you think. And then I also picked up I Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in Rom-Com, a monster romance, which I am just getting into. I still have not read Ice Planet Barbarians, but I'm going to. It's happening soon. I have not had a ton of time to physically read. Really need to go to bed earlier so I could sit and read for like an hour and then go to sleep. That is all I have for today. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know if you're gonna try out these tips. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.